Welcome back to another video. I'm going to play doctor today. Right here on YouTube, we're going to play doctor. We're going to do some jewelry intervention. Now, lots of times you'll hear me speak about adding a little touch-up to my jewelry that may come out of the jar. A little worse for wear. So we are going to do that today on a few things. I've already done one video similar to this one. I will link it here. Basically, what we're doing is using these jewelry pens. Now, these are sold for different touch-up. I have used this on plastic. I've used it on jewelry. They are called Deco Color Premium Prime Primo. That is Premio. Such a difficult name. They come in silver, antique gold, and regular gold. And you will find that sometimes they are not quite the color of your gold, so you can mix them. It's not a bad idea to mix them. I did get these on Amazon. They also have different brands, so you check yourself. I think they're about $14, anywhere from $12 to $14. Check, shop around. I believe Hobby Lobby and other craft stores may have them as well. So we're going to work on this one because this should really look something like this. Yeah, this should be more of a golden color, and some of this has already faded, and this is the one that I got out of a jar, and I mentioned that these little designs here really reminded me of the Miriam Haskell Rosemontes. I misspoke and called it Diamante. But I believe they're called Rosemontes, and I do own a Miriam Haskell kind of an opera length pearl necklace that has these, and they are wired. These are not wired. I believe these are just prong set. This is not a very expensive piece, but I thought it would be fun just to work on it, and that's what we're going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do the earrings because I may or may not. Another thing I'm going to do is add some brass. We did that last time too, but I'm thinking of adding it to this. And then this one is brass. I'm definitely going to add it to that. And what this one does is blackens it. Not completely, but I don't think I have to shake it or anything. But you put it on your brass and it brings out some of the designs. Gives it more of an antique finish. These pens, I've had them a while, so I don't know how much they have left in them. And like I said, I know I'm not going to quite get the color I need, so I'm going to try to do some blending right here on this little cardboard that I have. We'll start here. And I am wearing, ooh, that's pretty. I am wearing my gloves right now. Oh, I like this bright gold on this. On the filigree, it's working quite nice. Be careful not to get it on any of the other designs. And of course, if it bubbles, you know, take it away with some Q-tip. There you go. And I will work my way all through here so we can see how that works. Have napkins and things of that sort ready. So, oh, there's a lot of gold paint that's spilled there. So I'm just going to use that and not even press on this pen anymore, because as I said, I don't want it to look like it's painted on. And if you do this carefully, it really does work. Now you may not want to do it on your, you know, really expensive Monets or things like that unless you test it. I wouldn't hesitate, honestly. I feel like if it's not a highly desirable collectible piece that you could sell regardless of condition, then leave it alone. But it's actually a wonderful way to save some of this 25-cent jewelry that comes out of the jars or that you pick up at a garage sale or something. That took very nicely, and I will have you know that I have used it on a ring, on a Betsy Johnson ring that was copper base, and it was coming out. The color was fading. So I definitely used it on that, and that was a ring which does take a lot of wear, and it's still looking fantastic. It's better than having the copper come out when I didn't want copper. I didn't feel it complemented the very collectible leopard print ring that I had, and I really wanted to wear. So that's what I did. All right, now I'm going to go to the front so that, because there's a spot here that is really in need, and that's up here. So let me turn this around. So you really have to move it. That's why I am wearing gloves, because believe it or not, this will not come off my hands as easily as it does in other things. I've spilled it a little bit once. I dropped a little drop. I was doing a touch-up on one of my lamps, and I dropped the pen. Much easier to take it off the wood floor than it was to take it off my hands. It's very strange. Yet it does adhere to metal. Look how pretty it touched up that really faded part right there. Let me hold this up close because I have gloves and I can't zoom, but you see what I'm doing there? See how it's black? And we're covering it up with gold. Don't get it on your pearls or other stones because, like I said, it does adhere. It wouldn't even come off of one piece that I got on. I got it on the beautiful milk glass, and it took me a couple. I didn't want to completely dull it, so it took me a couple of attempts to take it off when I accidentally got it on there. So there's no rush here. You cannot rush this process because, first of all, you don't want to bathe it. You want to dab it. And like I said, this one already left quite a bit at the bottom there, so I'll be picking that up. And I think this is looking so nice. I don't even think I have to blend it because I would have blended a little antique gold with it. Maybe even some silver when I can't quite get the right color. Or even if it's not the exact match, but a new coat. A brand new winter coat. Who doesn't want a brand new dead stock vintage Burberry coat? That's what I want. You'll have to excuse my wandering mind when I think of coats, because we're here in Texas and we don't really spend too much money on coats. I have a down puffer coat that I use mostly when I visit Chicago, when I visit my grandchildren. But I do fantasize about owning a vintage plaid Burberry. Oh my goodness. All right, we're down to the last here. That is really, really impressive. I like the way this, of course I'll go back, make sure I didn't leave any spots, and I'll have to do this medallion as well. And of course it's still wet, so be careful how you handle it so you don't leave smudges. It's just like, you know, your fresh manicure. Yeah, I'm going to work on the medallion now and just brush it ever so lightly. This thing still has plenty of liquid on it. Wow, very cool. It's looking much closer to the earrings that were not as faded, and I may just do the earrings just to make sure they match a little better. I love these. Again, please take note, every time I do these, people will ask me, and Deco, it's a huge name, isn't it? Deco Color, Premium, Prime, Premio, or whatever. There it is. But they do have other brands. Of course, you know you usually get what you pay for, right? So if they have a cheaper one, know that it might not be as great as this one is. I am just very impressed with this. I really, really am. Oh my gosh, I may even wear the earrings. They're actually very nice. And they're post. So this is not a vintage piece. This is just, it's got a retro look to it. And wow, that looks like $1 million, doesn't it? Well, we're going to let that dry. And now we're going to work on the brass. Actually, you know what I'm going to do with this one? I better not. Because I know it's not brass. I feel like it's just a typical base metal. Let me zoom you back in a little bit. Take off this glove. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, let's do this on the brass while because it has to cure for a little while, and then you rinse it off. This is a lot of fun. I really had some amazing results doing a kind of a huge Victorian looking pendant with a smoky quartz colored stone, and it really had a good result. So I'll just put the Q-tip in. It is a clear liquid, so you won't know if you have enough right away. So I'll just dab it on there and make sure it's nice and cool. See, ooh, it's looking interesting already. Dab it all around, and of course you can leave it as long as you want. The longer you leave it, the more it will turn. See, it's already turning black. But it's up to you and your taste. Should have probably gotten a cotton swab. This is a little time consuming. But so what I had done was rinse it once, left it for like 10 minutes. And then I felt like it needed a little more, so I did another process on it. Kind of like when you do your hair blonde, right? I've never done it blonde, but I used to get streaks and highlights, and I think my daughter did it blonde one time. I don't remember, but they had to do it in processes, right? You don't do it all at once or your hair will turn to straw. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's going to be cool. So let's leave it for 10 minutes or so, and then I'll go rinse it and see what we got, right? Wow. Yeah, it's just turning black right now, but I think it's going to get into the crevices and just make it look a little bit, more antiqued. Okay, let me cover this up. Again, this is called Brass Black, and I'm going to do this one in the antique gold just to see what we come up with there. Okay, I'm going to shake it a bit first. See, I just feel like this one would look really nice with an antique-y color. And yeah, it's coming out like a little coppery rose gold. I rather like this color. Right here where it has a smooth finish, that's where I would daub it like this, kind of just tap it so it doesn't come out like, it won't look like smudged nail polish. And I might even go over this one with the other, just to, and this is not perfection, okay? Well, nobody's perfect at this channel. At this channel, we just love jewelry. We just ooh and ah over it when we can. This is a very inexpensive costume piece, and I'm just having fun with it. I really am, and I'm having fun with this pen, and I think I am going to add another color to it. Let me know in the comments. I'm not too crazy about this antiqued. I think it's a little rose gold more than antiqued. I may try another brand to make it fun. I have seen people spray paint some of their jewelry with great results. Kind of blend. This might have been a little bit more difficult than I should have grabbed for demo purposes. It also is a little dull, isn't it? All right, I'm going to go rinse the bracelet real quick. Okay, I'm going to have to consider that a fail because it kind of turned it black, but I'm polishing it back up. It turned it like spotty. I think I overdid the dabbing. So we keep it really honest here, and that's what I'm doing. I put it in the ultrasonic cleaner because I couldn't get them off. You're normally just supposed to rinse it. It came out really spotty, but I'm putting a little, I'm doing the opposite effect now. I'm giving it a shine back. And so now we know. Take it easy on the dab and rinse immediately. I think I left it too long, but we did restore it back to its original beauty. And it's a fabulous bracelet, isn't it? And I'm using Never Dull. This is kind of a little cotton with gasoline smelling substance. And that works great on silver too. I'm very conservative with it because I don't want to, every time you clean silver, you're actually rubbing off some silver. That's why when you do a scratch test on your acid tester block, it's basically like scratching chalk almost. So I'm very careful with it when I use it on silver. I usually use it on the very dull chain or something. I don't use it for every day. But we just brought that one more luster. We did the opposite of it. I really should have done it quicker. Now let's look at this bracelet and let's see if it'll take some of the other gold, because I'm not liking this one at all. I think it's too coppery. It doesn't even look antiqued. It just makes it look like copper. So this may be a fail as well, but that's how we live and learn, right? Again, no experts here, just fun with jewelry. Yeah, just fun with jewelry here. And I should not have even attempted this, I think. Well, I don't know. I'm going to let it dry. Try to be smooth and not puddled. And it's very hard to do that because you're touching it at the same time. You might want to work on a mandrel, a bracelet mandrel. Maybe coat it with some paper towel so you don't ruin your mandrel. I have a wood mandrel and a heavy one for shaping. But that's what I would do. Yeah, it's getting a little bit too much puddling there. So I should have just started with or I should have just avoided this. Again, we live and learn, because I think because of the smooth surface, I think we're going to have to resort to sandblasting. We'll get Robert to pull out the sandblaster and then maybe spray painting it and like, you know, gold or neon red or something, neon orange or something. I'm joking. I'm absolutely joking. Don't take anything I ever say that sounds ridiculous as the truth, okay? I am definitely joking. But I'm not going to waste any more paint on it. Well, I should, because you never know. Somebody might like it. You never know. No, but now you know. See how that copper is just a little bit, it's not even supposed to be copper. It's supposed to be antiqued. I'm going to try another brand on the antique. I'm very happy with the gold color. I think it's my favorite, and the silver as well. But I'm not liking this particular brand on the antiqued. They really should call it copper, because it's definitely more of a copper. But that's it there. And like I said, I would have avoided doing this completely because of these super smooth surfaces. And I left it for a minute. When I wanted to blend it, I left it to go take care of that bracelet. And I should have worked one thing at a time. So for demonstration purposes, this was a fail. But do try it at home. Do try it with pieces that you're not afraid of ruining, okay? Before you attempt to do it on anything that's absolutely important to you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, give it a thumbs up. This was just a unlicensed clinic on jewelry intervention. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.